And welcome to my channel. My name is Matt Shaffer. I am your empowerment, connection, and relationship coach. And this is the first live I've done in a while, and I'm so excited to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about what men are craving from you. So I want to have a conversation with you around, what men really want, what they need from you, and why it's so important if this awareness is so important if you want to create the sort of deep, meaningful relationships that I know you're all worthy of. So say hi in the chat, give me a 1, let me know where you're watching from. I love connecting with y'all. We got Arlette from the Columbia River, Honey is over here, Rumi from Bulgaria. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy to have y'all here. To everybody joining, welcome to this live. We're going to be talking about what men are craving from you. It's going to be a deep dive, and I'd love for you to start sharing what you think men are craving from you, right? Like, what do you think men want? Truly. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you about it. But what do you think men actually want from you? And just a little plug, guys, coming up, I have a free love course, a transformational love course that I am doing a beta test for. So this course is called Mastery of Connection. I have done it for over 4,000 women around the world with incredible results for so many women. So if you are interested in becoming a part of this beta test, this is the final beta test I will be doing of my course before I take it into a paid format, right? So if you want to be a part of Mastery of Connection, head on over to masteryofconnection.com. There's a short application you can fill out and you can be a part of this incredible experience. It's 25 video lessons over the course of 4 weeks. I'm in the group doing live coaching twice a week. I do office hours twice a week. So if you want to get live coaching from me on video, all the support you need in creating the sort of life and love you're worthy of, this is an incredible opportunity to do so. So go over there, check it out, masteryofconnection.com, and I'd love to support you. So let's dive right into this. We got Mindy from Kansas, Michelle, Della, Bekeep Me says, I don't know what men want. Who can relate to that? Give me a 1 if you don't know, right? You don't know what men want. And so here's the thing, I want to talk a little bit about the nature of men and women. So fundamentally, there's a concept, and if you watch some of my other videos, you might have heard this before, right? Called the interdependence of the masculine and the feminine. Like the masculine and the feminine, we both need certain things from each other, okay? And so the masculine needs certain things from you, especially in relationship, okay? The masculine is super craving that they feel acknowledged for what it is that they are creating in the world, right? So how can we do this? How can you acknowledge the men in your life? Because here's the thing. If a man doesn't feel acknowledged, if he doesn't feel seen and honored for what he's creating in the world, for what he's creating in his life, he's going to be depleted. He's going to be drained, and he's going to want to maybe pull away from you. So I want you to look at the men in your life. I want you to look at the man in your world and ask yourself, am I acknowledging him? If he does something right, am I giving him positive reinforcement? Am I thanking him for doing tasks, even if they're mundane? When's the last time you've thanked a man for how hard he works in your life? Or you've thanked him for, you let him know how much you appreciate. If you go on a date, let him know how much you appreciate, him going to the effort of setting it up. Right? You have no idea how far a simple acknowledgement, a simple thank you, a simple genuine connecting him with this, connecting him and thanking him and letting him know how much you appreciate and how it makes you feel. One of the greatest ways that you can make a powerful acknowledgement to a man is by grounding it in your feelings. So letting him know how his actions have impacted your feelings is so powerful. So another important concept I want to anchor here is that men are very linear A to B thinkers. Okay, men don't think about a lot of different variables when we're thinking about the way that you feel or what you want. Men think in terms of cause and effect. So if you can create a very simple link between how you're feeling and what he's doing, he's going to make that link, right? Do not expect your man to just know and understand that you appreciate what he does for you, that you appreciate how he shows up for you, or everything else. Like, men are not mind readers, and men think very directly. So if he does something that you like, if he does something that brings you joy, then, it is your job. If you want to create that sort of polarity, if you want to give him what he's craving from you, thank him, acknowledge him, make the connection for him. When you go to the trouble to plan, fun dates for me, not the trouble, but when you make the effort, right, to text me back right away. This is a good example, right? Because so often, I know a lot of my clients and students have a tendency to, get frustrated if a man doesn't text them back in a quick and timely manner. So if a man does do that, it's really important that if he does text you back, let him know how much that makes you happy. Hey, when you text me back, like right after I text you, it makes me happy. It makes me feel, safe. It makes me feel important to you. I get a little jolt every time I get a message from you. See, right there, you're creating a powerful acknowledgement he's gonna make that connection now. Okay, when I do this, she feels this. You see what I'm saying? You want to make as many positive connections in the mind of men in your life. When I do this, she feels good. When I do this, she feels safe, right? When I hold the door for her, she feels special. Because fundamentally, one of the fundamental drives that men have, and this is a big thing that men are craving from you, one of the fundamental drives that men have is to make you happy. Is to make you feel, acknowledged and seen, and to make you happy. And so how are you helping him understand what makes you happy? So this is an important question to ask yourself, right? This is an important question to ask yourself. How are you helping him understand? How are you helping him connect the dots here? And give me a 1. Let me know you can see that caption there. You can see that caption across the bottom. I'm going to be doing these throughout our show. It's going to be sort of an interactive version of, I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but how I do them sort of in a lesson style format, right? So this is a great question, and I'm excited. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, we got lots of great comments coming in. Welcome to everybody joining live. Give me a 1. Say hi. Let me know that you're here for the party. And let's see. We have someone from the Caribbean, Egypt, Shaima from Egypt. I love it. Okay, so men, so fundamentally, just bringing this back around, right? Men want to feel that what they're doing is making you happy, that they are showing up in a powerful way, and that you honor and see them for what they're doing in the world. This is a foundational concept, right? So they're craving that. They're craving that acknowledgement from you. Another thing that men are craving from you, is they are craving play. Okay, they are craving play. So are you playing with your man? Are you going back and forth with him? Are you engaging in playful dialogues with him? Are you teasing him? What's up, Louisa Darnian? How's it going, Faith? Good to see you. So are you playing with the men in your life? Are you playing with men? And these are all concepts that I get into. I dig into this stuff a lot because we're gonna be diving into this in Mastery of Connection. Mastery of Connection, we're gonna help you understand what your beliefs are around how you connect with men and how you do all this stuff. For those of you who are just joining on, welcome, say hi. I am launching my new beta course. It's my final beta course. So it's going to be my final free beta of my transformational love and relationship course, Mastery of Connection. It's starting 4/13, so there's still time to sign up. Go to masteryofconnection.com, sign up through the application, and you'll be able to be a part of this month-long transformational course. It's going to be super fun, okay? So I want you guys to think about, though, are you playing with the men in your life? Because the fundamental concept here that I want you to ground yourself in is that all men are little boys. All men are little boys. And guys, be sure to stay towards the end. I will be answering your questions at the end. I'll try to answer a few during, but I'll be, for the most part, please put your questions in the chat and I'll be answering them towards the end of the broadcast. Okay. So are you playing with him? Are you asking him if you can play with him? That's a huge point and a very important question I want you to ask yourself. Are you asking him the question, can I play? Because this is a really important question that I don't think women ask. A woman sees a man, whatever he's passionate about, whatever he's into, and they want to give him space. What if instead of that, you asked him, hey, can I play? Hey, why is this so fascinating to you? I'd love to hear more about that, right? Men are craving feeling like you are interested and connected to what it is that they're into. It's a great way to feel, like connected to you. It's a great way to feel like, you're being seen and honored for your passions, right? Is to ask questions. Can I play? And man, we're all craving play. We're all craving play. So it's just an important thing to ask yourself, right? It's an important thing to ask yourself is, are you asking these questions? Are you honoring the little boy within him? And are you allowing yourself to play and engage and just be playful with him, right? Because one of the fundamental things that men are looking for and men are craving from women, men are craving this. So this is a big one. Men are craving being set free by women. Can you see that? Did I make it big enough for you? Men are craving being set free by women. So we want to be set free. We want to play. We want to release. We want to relax with you. So are you being that freeing space for him? Are you being that sanctuary for him where he can put down the weight of what it is that he's doing and really just like relax with you? Okay, so this is a hugely important point, and it really creates polarity. It creates attraction, and you're in a unique position as a woman to set him free. And this can look a lot of different ways. Like obviously, sex is one way. Like physical intimacy is one way where you can set a man free, because just simply in the act of having sex, right? It is freeing. It's freeing for men, right? But you can create freedom in so many other ways too, right? Just by being an emotional sanctuary for him, being loving, being affectionate with him, like just giving him a chance to put his guard down, demonstrating vulnerability to him, right? And inviting him to be vulnerable too. So many men have hidden their emotions. They've suppressed them because it's often a liability in a lot of different avenues of life, right? But if you can demonstrate that he is safe to share his heart by asking him powerful questions, by allowing him to be vulnerable, by creating that safe space, he's gonna start to feel like he can put down that weight and really tune into you and be open to you, okay? So these are a couple critical things that men are craving for you. They're craving freedom. They're craving being acknowledged for what they're doing. They're craving playfulness, right? And it's super important, right? So we got some great questions coming in here. I want to answer. Oh, we got Misty. Misty said something really nice here. Let's just go ahead and see Misty's comment. Look at how sweet that is. My boyfriend and I have been together for 7 months. We've been listening to Matt and other relationship coaches for a while. You rock, Matt. Been putting all the tools into action and they work. I love it, Misty. So I'd love to know from you, what have been the tools that have worked best for you? What have been your biggest breakthroughs, right, in your own process? I'd love to know from you, what's been working and how we can share that with the group, right? That would be fantastic. Okay, so let's look at some questions. Oh, this is a great question. So talking about play, this is a great one from Lily. Lily asks, social distancing, how to play by text. That is a great one. So that's the thing. Right now, we're in a unique period, right? So for those of you watching on the replay, maybe the pandemic has already passed. For those of you watching live and those of you watching this video over the months to come, we're in a unique opportunity to embody connection and play remotely over a distance. So texting is actually a really fun way to get to know somebody and be playful without being able to be in the same room with them. And I think one of the coolest ways to deepen connection and play over text is through pictures. is by taking pictures of, whatever you're doing, of you doing funny faces, like, like, what are you doing right now, like sending pictures back and forth to each other using bitmojis where you can create a little animated version of yourself, and do that. That's a fun way to do it. That creates that's a whole new world. It creates a whole new world of communication, and some of them are super funny, right? Sending funny clips back and forth to each other. I'm on YouTube all the time, not just when I'm recording videos, and every time I find a funny clip or a funny meme or something like that, I send it to my family. I send it to a woman if I'm dating somebody. Like I'm always looking for funny things to send the people in my life, right? And making texting like a playful way to create avenues to talk about. Does that make sense? Give me a 1 if that resonates with you. So let's see. We got Marianne here. Marianne, oh, I like your thing here. Oh, so Marianne, fun flirty text idea. I'm soaking wet. Whoop, leave it there a bit and let him wonder till he asks. Then say, I just got off the boat or the shower. Yeah. So kind of hiding the lead, right? Being flirty and maybe setting up a situation and again, if you want to be flirty, just be like, geez, I'm so bored. I wonder what else we could be doing right now. Just hiding the ball. And texting can be a lot of fun, and it can be a really great way to build engagement, to build connection, to build relationship. Like it truly can. And texting is something that in my own courses I do address in a whole. I have a whole module on texting. So if you want to jump into my courses and begin working with me, join my free beta test of Mastery of Connection. We're going to be starting on April 13th. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so much fun. We'd love to have you there. So head on over to masteryconnection.com. Check it out. What's up, Janine from San Francisco? How you doing? We got Misty Ferguson. Being playful, working on this is what's been working for her in her relationships. Being playful, working on her femininity, great communication, and we never stop wanting to learn about each other. I love that. Yeah, endless curiosity. Curiosity is so important, right? It's so important to feel as though your partner is curious about you. So what kind of questions are you asking? This is a really important point I want you to ask yourself, is what kind of questions are you asking in your relationship? Are you asking him, what his passions are, what his dreams are, what his ideas are? And that's something that you can do. You can do that over text message. Take text messaging below the surface. The quality of your questions many times determines the depth of your relationship. Are you with me? And it's something that I talk about a lot. I've done a lot of videos on it, and that's a really important point to address here. So I love all these great messages. Everybody's tuning in. Let me know your questions, y'all. Your questions about intimacy, about men, about what men are craving. That's what we're diving into here on this live, and we're gonna hang out for a while and just have a dynamic conversation around all of this. So Heather M asks, what if you accidentally pushed a man away because you were scared of intimacy? Is there any way to recover from that? Absolutely. So, Heather, I'd love to know a little more context around this situation. But if you pushed a man away, if you pulled back from him because you were afraid of intimacy, one of the greatest ways to hit the reset button on a relationship, on a connection with a man, is to vulnerably reconnect with him, vulnerably share with him how he makes you feel, right? And acknowledge that you pushed him away because of maybe a fear of getting too close to him. Just be like, hey, because here's the thing. What men do, men have this knee-jerk response where if a woman pushes them away, or a woman, yells at them, or a woman is confrontational with them, or is just in a bad mood, the automatic thought is, what did I do wrong? They blame themselves, right? So the fact when you pushed him away, he made up a story about it. I almost guarantee you that he did something wrong. that he did something wrong, right? So now you have a powerful opportunity to clear the air with him and help him understand that it wasn't anything that he did wrong, but it was your own stuff around intimacy that led to you pulling him away, and that he actually makes you feel really good. So it's really powerful for you to do that, and for you to, it's a really great opportunity for you to hit the reset button. And of course, you can't control how he responds to it, right? You can't control if he's going to go along with it or not, if he's going to come back to you. You don't have control over that. But what you get to do is put yourself in the best position to do so by a phrase I use a lot with my clients and my students and in my own life. It's my mantra, is lead with love and respond with compassion. Lead with love and respond with compassion. That's like important enough that I want to put it up on the screen here. Lead with love, respond with compassion. And this is a powerful mantra that you can use in your dating, in your relationships, throughout your life. Are you leading with love and responding with compassion in your connections and relationships with men, and in your connections and relationships with everybody? Right? Super, super, super important. Hi, everybody joining. Give me a 1. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your questions. I'm going to be answering questions, some throughout the video, but also towards the end. Towards the end, I'll be answering more questions. So be sure to put your questions in and hang with us, and I'll be going through those as we go here. Okay, so I just want to leave that up there for a second, because this is a really important point. And Heather, I hope that this helps you. Okay, so Heather says, I just got weird and sent a lot of mixed signals. No bad mood, was just being super confusing, which is perfect, right? That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, because if a man sees a woman giving mixed signals, his automatic assumption, his default assumption is that he did something wrong, that he messed up. Okay, so one of the greatest things you can do for him now is to help create clarity with him that, he didn't do anything wrong, that this is your own processing, around your intimacy, and just be clear with him. Be clear with him. Hey, I like spending time with you. Hey, you make me happy. Like I have fun with you. One of the greatest things you can say to a man is that you have fun with him. Because men love to play, men love to have fun. And if you two have fun together, just get clear with him. It's super simple. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, right? Because oftentimes it sounds like intimacy and being vulnerability might be kind of challenging for you, but it is such a powerful opportunity for you to step into that, right? So give me a 1, Heather. Give me a 1 if y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. We got lots of great questions here. I'm going to answer some more questions. Why not? Let's see. Okay, Laura Eni. How do I stop a crush on a married man? Oh my gosh. Well, I think the bigger question is, you get to ask yourself, why are you crushing on a married man? Why are you being drawn to physically unavailable men? Right now he's physically unavailable, and maybe he's emotionally unavailable too. So he might be unavailable. So why are you feeling yourself drawn to and attracted to unavailable men? It's a really important point, and it's a really interesting thing to look at. What beliefs do you have about yourself and about intimacy that you find yourself drawn and attracted to men that are either physically or emotionally or both unavailable to you? I find with a lot of my clients and a lot of my students, it comes down to a worthiness belief that you're not worthy of, that you don't feel that you're worthy of a full-blown relationship, of a man who's fully present. It's one of the biggest things, and that's why, in Mastery of Connection, my course that's starting next month on April 13th, if you haven't signed up, if you haven't taken it before, this is your last opportunity to get it for free, okay? I'm doing one more free beta test of my month-long transformational relationship course, okay? And you have the opportunity to sign up at masteryconnection.com. The link is right there. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to sign up there, and you can be a part of this month-long beta course. It is going to be a ton of value, and you're going to get live office hours with me twice a week. So it's super, super, super fun, and you'll have a great time. And she added here, he gave me a hint by saying he's not sure if he wants a divorce if he wants to divorce his wife. Okay, so again, like whatever this guy is saying, whatever he's doing, like this man, you get to really look at yourself. You really get to ask yourself, first off, is this in alignment? Is this married man who's hinting that he might want a divorce, is this in alignment with the relationship that I want? Do I want a relationship where a man is committed to another woman and, hinting that maybe he's willing to leave her? Or are you looking for a relationship where you are with a man who is connected to you, committed to you, and wants to move forward with you in a positive, powerful way? This is just a really important thing to think about. And I think that it's going to be in your best interests. The first step into creating a relationship that's in alignment for you and that's reflective of the sort of love that you want is to release any connection or relationship that is not in alignment with that. So if you want a beautiful relationship, if you want a meaningful partnership with a person who truly cares about you, then you get to release this man. You get to lovingly, say, I appreciate the attention, because maybe he's flirting with you. Maybe he's, I'm sure he's not, doing nothing right towards this, but you get to pull back. You get to protect your heart. You get to protect your heart, and you get to, do inner work instead. Look at the beliefs underneath, you feeling drawn towards a man who's emotionally unavailable, or maybe who's manipulative, right? Like that, and start working on those beliefs around the kind of relationship that you're worthy of. Super important. So how do I stop crushing on him? Realizing that you realize that, he's not going to lead to the kind of relationship you want. Then you release that. You do your belief work. You can sign up here at masteryofconnection.com. Sign up, go through your belief work with us, create a vision for the kind of relationship you want, and then move into it. Okay, everybody in the chat's all on the same page with us. We're all right here. Head for the hills, Shelly says. Julie says, yes, Matt, please listen. He'll do the same to you eventually. Yeah, exactly. And you want a relationship built on trust, right? We all do. Give me a one, y'all, if you want a relationship built on trust. I know I do. I know we all do. So, guys, I'd love to know your questions. Let me know what's coming up for you in relationship. And okay, so here's a huge thing. This is a huge thing that men are craving in relationship, right? The theme of this live is what men are craving from women. Okay, and one of the biggest things that they are craving from women is guidance. Okay, guidance around how to make you happy. We've talked about that earlier. Guidance around what it is that you want. One of the greatest ways to do that is through positive, constructive boundaries. So are you giving a man constructive guidance? We're going to put that in there. Guidance. Men are craving guidance. I love it. I love all the comments. Keep them coming. So we are craving guidance. We are and so are you giving a man guidance? Are you setting positive, constructive boundaries with him, anchored in how you feel? Are you letting him know? Are you acknowledging him when he's doing things right? Are you embracing the cycle of invitation and space where you invite him to do something that you want? Hey, I'd love to go on a fun date this weekend. Wouldn't it be fun to go on an adventure date this weekend? And then you give him the space to do that, right? Men want to feel trusted. They want to feel honored and safe by you, right? So are you giving a man guidance, or are you just leaning back so far and just expecting him to read your mind? And this also goes really well for going out there and dating. I understand the value that a lot of women put on leaning back, right? Give me a one if leaning back is a big dating strategy for you, right? I know for a lot of people out there in relationship that leaning back is something that is very important to a lot of you. And I'm not saying it doesn't have a place in dating. But what I am saying is that if you're out there wanting to meet men, but you're leading with leaning back, you're leading with, avoiding appearing open and interested and eager in any way because you're scared of, or because you're afraid it's going to make you appear easy, you're afraid it's going to come across as masculine or too forward, I want to invite you to release that. Okay, leaning back can oftentimes lead to you disqualifying yourself from a lot of really possible great relationships with men. Because here's the thing, ladies, like men are craving, we are truly craving, we're craving connection and to know that you want us. We have approach anxiety. Approach anxiety is real, y'all. It is real out there. And so please give us, a sign. Give us a sign that, you give us an invitation. Can you make a powerful invitation without giving your power away? That's the question, right? Can you make an invitation with your eyes? Can you make eye contact and connect and demonstrate to him, like that you would like him to approach you, right? Like, I'm not saying you need to go up and initiate a full-blown conversation, but can you make an invitation with your eyes? Can you make an invitation with your body language by being open body? Right? Can you make an invitation by throwing a little comment out there? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, the only thing standing between you and the relationship that you want is a little bit of guidance, is one invitation, is demonstrating and letting a man know, expressing to him what you want. You see what I'm saying? So I hope you're on board with that. And that's a very, very, very important point. I'm going to answer some of your questions now. Let's see. Let's go back up. We have so many comments, so many questions. Put your comments, y'all, in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you haven't yet, sign up for Mastery of Connection. Whoop, there it is, masteryofconnection.com. We're going to be having a blast. It's going to be great. Here, we're going to try this. I got sound effects. This is really fun. Check it out. How about this? Woo! It's like a radio show, right? This one's my favorite. Okay, here we go. You ready for this one? Oh, not that one. This one. How fun is that, right? Like I have all these fun sound effects here on this program. Okay, so let's dive in, y'all. Let's dive into some questions here. We got Cindy Hall has a great theme here, or a great comment. Cindy, you might want to update your profile picture. You got a gentleman there. They want respect, understanding, and compliments. I'm from New Hampshire. Exactly, Cindy. That's directly in alignment with what we were just talking about. And you're 100% right. We do. We want respect. We want understanding, right? We want patience. A really important concept around this, right, is that every man has some degree of mama trauma. So give me a 1 if you've heard me talk about mama trauma before, okay? Have you heard of mama trauma before? Have you heard of this? Because mama trauma is a very important thing to think about, right? That every man has some degree of trauma around his mom, right? Where one of the worst things for him when he was little or he was growing up was being in trouble with his mom. So when we want to manage confrontation and conflict with men, and boundaries and all kinds of confrontive conversations, recognizing that, there it is, that men have mama trauma. They do. Right. And so it's a very important thing for you to be connected to. And if you want to always come with an energy of partnership, with an energy of love, with an energy of collaboration when you're going into relationship with men or when you're having any kind of confrontive conversation with a man. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, you may have a tendency to activate his mama trauma where he decides, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble with a woman. Right? Because your relationship with your mother sets the template for all your relationships with women for the rest of your life. So come to him with a warm, inviting energy, even if you get to have a confrontive conversation with him. Because if you're hyper aggressive, if you're coming at him and scolding him, right, for something that he did wrong, you run the risk of having him shut down. He's not going to be open to what you have to say. If you want him to be open and receptive to what it is that you're saying and really like come through and hear you and honor you and work with you, like dealing with this mama trauma and working with that is going to make a big difference. Are you with me? Any suggestions? Says good skills with video captions. I'll appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Let's get some questions here. Geraldine says, I'm loving your bright crystal blue eyes. Oh, thank you, Geraldine. That's so sweet. That's my grandma's name. I love that. Let's see. All right. We have Suad. Suad says, what does an ex you dumped crave, need to hear when you speak together after a long period of no contact. So okay, so this is an interesting question. You dumped him, right? And now you're reconnecting after a long time. Okay, so I guess that depends on your intention, Suad. What are you looking to create with him? Are you looking to foster understanding? Are you looking to clear up anything with him, right? Because chances are he might think that you dumped him because he did something wrong, or he might have some resentment towards you because of how your relationship ended. So if that's the case, right? I mean, or if you're not clear on that, you might ask him, so, I know that our relationship, it ended a while ago. I hope things have been going well for you. And I just wanted to know, how you felt about everything, how you've been feeling about it. Is there anything that you want to share with me about how you're feeling? Right? And then hold space for him. Ask him a powerful question and then hold space for him to be vulnerable about his feelings around it, right? Few things are more healing to a man in relationship than to feel like, a woman that he's with or that he's been with is open to just hearing him out and hearing out his side of it. This is actually very personal to me, right? This is something that, in my relationships where I've had a couple relationships that, have ended in kind of unusual or manners or unexpected manners, right? And the biggest, most healing thing that I was able to do after that relationship ended was have a vulnerable conversation about what each of us went through and just sharing that, and holding space for each other. Not to try to create a solution for it. It's not about that, but it's just, one of the greatest things you can give, the greatest gifts you can give a man is to have him feel heard and have him feel like he can release what it is. And then if you want to apologize to him about anything, you're welcome to do that. You see what I'm saying? Give me a 1, y'all, if you're committed to Suad being brave around this. So let's see. Let's ask another great question here. Let's get another question. All right. Honey asks, let's see, what to do if man doesn't ask any personal questions about me to just get to know me and just talks about how your day was. I'm really struggling to get communication to get that personal connection. Okay, so honey, I think that's a very common thing that a lot of people are dealing with. Give me a 1, y'all, if you can relate to the daily report, if you can relate to so many men and women, they get stuck in the daily report. And that is when we get to really lean into, I want you to ask yourself, right? Take responsibility for your side of it and ask yourself, what kind of questions are you asking him? Are you having the courage to ask him deeper questions? Because women, I want y'all to recognize that you are the emotional and communicative conductors of your relationship dynamics with men. With every man, you have a relational container. Okay. And within that relational container, there is a masculine side and a feminine side. Okay. And you, as the feminine energy dominant partner in the relationship, one of the greatest things you can do with a man, right? We talked about guidance earlier, is to operate as the conductor of the emotional and communicative aspects of the relationship. Men have, in general, a much lower degree of emotional agency. We are not as good at connecting with and communicating our emotions. We are not as good or as well practiced in being vulnerable. We're not as good at it. We're not as experienced in it because we don't live in our feelings the way that women do. So you are the conductor, right? So one of the greatest ways that you can invite a man into deeper levels of vulnerability with you is to ask deeper questions. Ask him how he's feeling. Invite him, right? Invite him to start talking about his life in a deeper way. And then, invite him to ask deeper questions to you. Be like, wow, I love hearing you talk about your feelings. That feels really good to me. Wouldn't it be cool if we did this more often, right? And you asked me how I was feeling, right? Through the cycle of leading with vulnerability and inviting him into this space, you are going to set the stage for him to be more personal and get to know you on a deeper level, right? But take responsibility for the fact, I want you to literally create a visual for yourselves, okay? That you are the conductor of an orchestra, right? You're the one with the little baton and you're up on your little platform, and he is the musician down in the soundstage, and he's looking up to you for guidance. He's looking up to you to set the tempo, right? How do we set the tempo? Through setting boundaries, right? Through pacing him, right? Like when you first meet a man, and you guys are getting along and things are going well in the early stages of dating, he's going to want everything all at once, right? Even good guys, like they're going to want to sleep with you, they're going to want to do all the things, they're going to want to blah, 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 right? And you have the power to set the tempo as the conductor by pacing him with boundaries, by lovingly, letting him know, this isn't quite time to do that. I'm really having fun with you, but like, let's wait. It feels good to take my time in relationship, right? And you keep anchoring his actions in your positive feelings. Are you with me? Give me a 1 on that, right? And ask him deeper questions of him and set an example, right? Conductors lead by example. So just to really come full circle on your question, honey, like you want to lead by example in vulnerably asking him questions and vulnerably sharing, and then create a space where it becomes normal for you guys to talk about this stuff. And then, he will probably naturally start asking you deeper questions. Are you with me? Give me a 1. Okay. So let's see. Another good question here. So many questions. Let's see. Should play be obvious to him or mysterious? It can be both. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being mysterious as long as you're, not being manipulative or gamey around it. But I think that play can be very overt. It can be teasing him. It can be just like going back and forth with him. It can be asking him to play with you. You can do it through texting. I mean, it can be err on the side of being clear, right? Err on the side of being clear. Are you with me? Let's see. This is a great question. If you don't have a man currently in your life, will the beta course still be beneficial? Mindy, absolutely. This course is about transforming your understanding and transforming your ability to connect with yourself and others. So this is not just a relationship course. This is a course about you identifying how you connect with yourself and transforming the way that you connect with yourself so that you can have the relationship and life of your dreams. So truly, you don't need to be in a relationship. You don't even need to really want to be in a relationship to get huge value out of this beta course. So guys, if you want to sign up, take the time right now, go to masteryconnection.com and you can sign up through the application there. And it's going to be a quick process, and it's a free month-long transformational love course starting April 13th. So take advantage of this. This is going to be the last time I'm going to be offering this as a beta test. So just so you know, after this, it's going to be selling from between $1,000 to $2,000 at least because of the amount of time and the amount of energy and the amount of value that people get out of it. So if you want my $2,000 relationship course for free as a beta tester, this is your opportunity to do so. We're going to go through belief work. We're going to go through all of these amazing principles. We're going to go through belief work. We're going to go through your values, your vision, your attachment style, your personality type, and how all of that stuff plays into your relationships, right? And it really goes to a very important point that I want to make here. One of the things that men are craving more than anything is, I'm going to put this up on the screen because it's super important. Men are craving a woman who knows herself. Okay, so this is an absolutely, I'm going to blow it up here. Men are craving a woman who knows herself. Okay, so do you know your beliefs around relationship and intimacy? Are you aware of your attachment style? Right? Do you know your personality type? Right? These are all fundamental questions of self-awareness that, if you do not have this baseline, you're not going to be able to connect with men in the way that you want. Are you with me? So that is why this course is going to make a remarkable difference, right? Whether you're in a relationship right now or not, whether you're dating or not, or whether you're even looking to date. Okay, so do you know yourself? And if there's, and we can always know ourselves on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? So the great thing about this work is that no matter how many times I do it, I always go a layer deeper. Okay, so definitely something to look at. So ask your questions here. I'm going to answer some questions for you here. Let's see what we have. Z Kanzi says, Matt, please do these live videos more often. You're in luck, because I am going to start doing a live a week. So I'm announcing it here. You're going to get one live video from me a week moving forward. I don't know exactly what day I'm going to be setting it to. I'm going to set it for a fixed time and a fixed day, so you'll know every week when you can come and join me live. Okay, so give me one if you're excited about that. I know I'm excited. I'm excited to do it with you, and I'm excited to join you in Mastery of Connection. So sign up at the link below, and we will kick it off here in a second. Okay, Jessica Navarrete, how can you re-spark a relationship with a man that was really into you? Okay, so Jessica, an important additional question there would be, like, why is he not into you anymore? Did you push him away? Or did something come up? Did life happen? Did the pandemic happen and all of a sudden he disappeared, right? But I have talked about this before, and I do think it's an important thing to address, is that if you want to re-spark a relationship with a man who was really into you and isn't anymore, chances are you guys grew apart because you stopped connecting, you stopped being in alignment, right? And that could be for a lot of different reasons. It could be that one of you grew and changed in a meaningful way. It could be that you started having miscommunications and you didn't bridge that gap, right? Because a lot of times two people will start to shift, and instead of having a conversation, hey, so I haven't been feeling, super good about this, and I wanted to share it with you so we can get back on the same page. Instead of having like an uncomfortable conversation, like you'll just avoid it, and then the gap between two people will get greater and greater and greater and greater. So it's important to look at that and ask yourself, like, what happened, right? Why have we grown apart in the first place? And then how can I hit the reset button? And just like I was talking about with, I think with Heather early on, because she pushed a guy away, one of the greatest ways that you can re-spark a relationship is to reground yourself and reground your partner in what brought you together in the first place. Like, what is it that you love about him? What about how he makes you feel? What about how he communicates with you? Is it his sense of humor? Is it how much fun y'all have together, right? And you want to vulnerably share that with him, and then invite him to a shared experience where you two can experience it again, right? I love how spontaneous, we were a lot at the beginning of our relationship. Like, can we just go up into the mountains this weekend and just like have a blast? Like, you want to reground in that magic of what brought you together, and then invite him to have a shared experience with you that'll help you recapture that. So I hope that helps. That's one strategy. There's obviously a million strategies to do this, but that's just one easy way to get started. So give me a one if you're ready. This is an important one. Okay, so how to keep him cheerful during the COVID-19 quarantine. Great question, Arlette. And Arlette, I think that one of the greatest things you can do during this epidemic or pandemic or whatever is to not allow it to undermine your connection. Don't allow it to, like, all the conversations that you have, like, be careful that they don't just all revolve around the news and what Donald Trump said today and how many people died today. Like, really be conscious as the communicative conductor of the relationship that you have a tremendous amount of power to guide the trajectory of the conversation. So ask him, like, what is he doing? Is he doing something fun during this? And challenge him. Be like, hey, what's something fun we could do together? Could we, do yoga together? Could we watch the same movie together? Like, say if you two aren't quarantined together, like if I'm assuming you guys are quarantined separately, right? Or if you're quarantined together, then it's even easier, right? Because then it's like, well, let's explore a hobby, right? Like, have you ever thought about, doing like yoga? Let's do yoga together. Let's watch like a crazy movie together. Like, let's do something interactive together, like play games with him. I mean, you can have a ton of fun in an enclosed environment as long as you're both creative, but it all starts with you asking him questions and really getting to know what he's into, what he likes to do. Like maybe you'll discover, right? If you ask him, what do you like to do? Like in fun, what did you do when you were little, when you were sick and mom would let you stay home from school, right? All men are little boys. So take him back there and be like, oh, well, I used to, play Monopoly with my mom or something, and be like, cool, like let's play Monopoly, let's play a board game, let's play Cards Against Humanity and just get weird, right? So Arlette, I know you're probably gone, but she said she had to go back to work, but I hope that serves you. So keep commenting, y'all. Gosh, we're getting so many comments in the box. I'd love to know your questions around what to do in dating, love, and relationship. I am here to serve and support you in whatever's coming up for you. And let's see, I'm going to try to answer questions rapid fire here. We got Savannah Grobler. I'm going to be answering more questions, guys, so be sure to hang with me. If you've got a question out or you want to ask a question, I will be answering it here in just a minute. Savannah says, how do you get his attention on a deeper level than friendship without making it awkward or fearing the rejection? Well, Savannah, first off, I don't want you to feel any shame or around fearing rejection. Fear of rejection is a completely normal human impulse, a completely normal human emotion that so many men and women have. Like it is fundamental. So it's okay to fear rejection. Okay, it's okay to fear rejection, but we really get to ask ourselves, what's more important? What's more important to us? Courageously standing for the relationship we're worthy of, or hiding, right? Because we're afraid of getting hurt, right? This operating from this space, operating from fear of pain is an impulse that leads us to isolation. It leads us to isolation. It leads us to cutting ourselves off from meaningful relationship. And truly, it's why so many people stay alone, because they're operating from fear. You always have a choice to operate from fear or from love. Right. So I want to first off, invite you to embrace your fear of rejection, but don't let it control you. Okay. And Savannah, so how do you get his attention on a deeper level than friendship? So, I mean, one of the greatest ways you can do this, Savannah, is by, just gently flirting with him, right? Letting him know that hey, I like that shirt. Oh, my dog wants to come inside. Come on, buddy. All right, my dog is been outside in the backyard. I'm right in my office. It looks out in my backyard. So compliment him a little bit. Tell him you like his shirt, right? You got to remember, ladies, men aren't mind readers. We're not mind readers. We do not know. And a lot of times we have talked ourselves out of relationship with a woman or with dating a woman because we either assume she doesn't like us, or we assume she's already got a boyfriend or already got a husband, or for any one of a million reasons. Our fear of rejection, our approach anxiety is so deep that we've talked ourselves out of connecting with you. So your goal, Savannah, in this situation gets to be to make it clear to him in a playful way that that you're attracted to him, and that you're making an invitation for him to drive the progress of the relationship in a different direction. So how much you like his shirt, it's always so much fun talking to you, just give him little cues, give him little indicators, give him little light, playful compliments to let him know that you see him more than just the guy that, you talk to around the water cooler, right? Give him some, and again, make an invitation to him and then see what he does. Without making it awkward is, that's a very subjective thing. And I mean, if you keep it light, if you don't try to push the dynamic of the relationship, but again, you just demonstrate to him that you're open, you're going to put yourself in the best position to do that. Okay. Are you with me? So, that is my answer to that. Okay. We got Jackie who says, tried a relationship with a younger man through long distance, and then all the signs were there that sex was the main goal. How do I stop thinking it was me through long distance and all the signs of sex? Okay, so again, like, how do I stop thinking it was me? Okay, so what you're doing right there is right. You're blaming yourself for what? The fact that he only wanted sex with you. Okay, so I think it's really important for you to acknowledge and recognize to yourself that the fact that a man wants sex from you is fundamentally, first off, it's an acknowledgement of the fact that you are in your feminine and that he's attracted to you. So first off, it's not a bad thing that a man wants to have sex with you. If a man only wants sex from you, then that's much more of an indicator of his character and his intention, right? And it's neither right nor wrong. If a man wants to have sex with a woman and he doesn't want to be in a relationship, doesn't necessarily mean that he's evil, right? Or a bad guy, right? It just means that that's where he's at in his life. So like acknowledging and being okay that that's where he's at, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault, right? Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. You don't have any control around the intentions of other people. Okay, so I think one of the greatest things we can do in situations like this is acknowledge that like we don't have control over other people at a fundamental level. And it's not our job to blame ourselves for what other people want from us. It's our responsibility to manage our energy and manage who we choose to spend our time with. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little shotgun coaching on that, Jackie. I hope that resonated with her and with all the rest of you out there. Like truly, it's an important thing to think about. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is an interesting question that Cool Test here has. What is the deeper reason when a man is not comfortable with nicknames? He said it has to come organically. He is affectionate other ways. Should I feel upset about this? Cool Test. I think that there's rarely any justifiable reason to get upset about the way a man is acting towards you. I think that every time a man does something like this and it triggers you, it's an opportunity for you both to grow. Okay, so this is really interesting. It's not that he's not comfortable with nicknames. It's that he feels that they need to be created in a very certain way, in a very organic way. So chances are this man is a little controlling, and a nickname is something that means a lot to him, and he doesn't want to feel like the nickname that you're giving him, maybe that you called some other guy that, like, it needs to be organic and unique to him. So he's probably got a little bit of a controlling streak, right? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think that's anything to take personally. I think it's a good opportunity for you to recognize that he puts a lot of weight on the nickname, and he wants the nicknames that you two share to be special. So it means that he cares a lot about you, right? At a deeper level, right? And that he wants your nicknames to be a special reflection of the beautiful relationship that the two of you share. So just think about that, and hopefully that allows you to shift, but I would not be upset about it. Sound good? Okay, good. Okay, so Jennifer asked a great question here. What are some of the reasons why, what are the reasons, some reasons why some of us are drawn to unavailable men? And I addressed that briefly with another lovely person on the call around, she was crushing on a married man. And the biggest reason that women are drawn to unavailable men is because they at some level feel that they are not worthy, subconsciously or consciously, of a lasting, fully committed relationship from an engaged partner. They're not worthy of the full experience of love. Or they've created a story around it that, that being connected to an unavailable man is love, because maybe they watched their mother and father, be in relationship. And that's that initial template, right? That so many of us have out there, right? Is we watch the way our mother and father are, and we decide this is how men and women are together, right? So if you had a father who was unavailable, emotionally unavailable, and he wasn't available to you, and he wasn't available to your mom, then you are going to create a template and a belief, right, that emotionally unavailable is how men are. And so you're going to be drawn to those men, and you're going to not trust men that are emotionally available. You're going to be actually triggered by them, and you're going to not be attracted to them. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a belief that you're not worthy of love based in trauma. It could be because you had an initial experience with your father where that set that template for you earlier, and then you had a string of emotionally or physically unavailable men in your life. And so the important thing is for you to just like start looking at your beliefs. And that's what we do in module 1 of Mastery of Connection. So if you haven't yet, take a second, head on over to masteryofconnection.com, sign up for my beta course. I'm doing a free month-long course all around beliefs, all around getting to the root of why you are drawn to unavailable men, and then helping you shift out of that space and really create a new vision for the type of relationship you want. You know what I'm saying? But you got to do the inner work first. And Mastery of Connection is all around you doing deep inner work. So we're going to be doing that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sign up, Jennifer. Hope to see you there. Give me a one, y'all, if y'all have signed up or y'all are coming along with us to Mastery of Connection. It's going to be a great time. If you filled out an application, there's a very good chance you will get in. I got someone from my team reviewing them as we speak. So just know that. And give me a one if you filled out an application to join us in Mastery of Connection. That'd be super fun. Okay. The Maithana says, I'm 42 and I'm an introvert. Any tips on how to open up to someone I'm attracted to? Attraction doesn't happen a lot for me. I notice men, but I get a little scared when I'm attracted to somebody. Okay, so the first thing is going to be looking at that fear, right? So you're attracted to somebody and you're going to want to be really conscious about, here's the thing. If you want to open up a dialogue with someone you're attracted to, then there's a chance that then you're going to get to make the invitation to him, either through eye contact, through body language, right? But through your smile. Huge thing you can do to invite someone you're attracted to initiate contact with you is by a combination of your eyes and your smile. Your eyes indicate that's the bridge of connection, right? And then your smile indicates how you feel about it. So think about that. The eyes are the bridge. The eyes are like the connection point. And then your smile is the charge coming through the connection. So eyes and smile are very powerful, right? And really looking at your energy, because if you are fearful when you're trying to initiate contact with a man, if you're shut down like while you're doing it, he's gonna create a story, because men are always creating stories based upon how women are treating them, whatever. He's gonna create a story that you're not attracted to him, that you're not interested in him, that you're looking at him because he did something wrong or something like that. So you want to really ground yourself. You want to do your best to sort of just like breathe through that fear and make sure it doesn't show up on your face or in your body or in your energy when you're glancing at that wonderful guy or you're having that conversation with him. Do you see what I'm saying? So I hope that resonated with you. Be sure to, be conscious of your face, be conscious of your body, be conscious of your eyes, be conscious of your energy when you're looking to connect with men that you're attracted to, right? Because if any one of those is off, then your subconscious dialogue that you're having with him is stay away, I'm afraid of you, or something like that. Okay. Fantastic. So let's see. We got so many comments. Let's see. Okay. So Victoria says, my guy said just fun sex, no feelings, but gets jealous if I'm laughing with other guys. Makes a point of finding me wherever I am in our workplace and checks on me often. Oh, Victoria, lots of red flags there. What do you think, ladies? How do we feel about that? So A, you'll work with him. First off, the guy who said just fun sex, no feelings, that part of it is not necessarily a bad thing if that's something that you want, Victoria. If you are looking for a no strings attached, fun thing, finding somebody that's in alignment with that intention is perfect. It's fine. But all this other stuff, right, where he's trying to control you and getting very jealous around your connections with other men, he's checking in on you throughout the day, those are the hallmarks of a man who is operating from a toxic space. Those are the hallmarks from a man who wants to use you and also, quarantine you or cut you off from connections to other people. So that's a dangerous combination. That's a potential narcissist. That's a potential controlling man. That's the sort of guy that, if he's doing this now and he eventually sort of like lures you into a deeper relationship, he could try to take over your life. So, and just be wary of the fact that you work with this guy. So continuing to go deeper into connection with this dude physically and in any other way is potentially a little dangerous. So if I were you, I would, probably pull back. Probably pull back from this guy and do your best to sort of like, because you work with him, right? So you're not going to want to like create a massive conflict or dramatic situation at work, but just sort of gently let him know that, you know, what you're looking for has changed. You know, and you're no longer interested in being in this kind of connection or relationship. Are y'all with me? What do y'all think about that? Ladies, yeah, he's a controller, Mindy. Exactly, he's definitely a controller, and he could be somebody who's, you know, looking to, you know, run your life, and you want to definitely avoid that. Jack says, hilarious and cute seeing your inner child rocking those sounds. Oh yeah, you mean this one? No, not that one. I always do the wrong one. This one. I think that's so fun. Let's give her a round of applause. Woo. It's like I have a morning radio show. I feel like that's like what this is turning into, which is fantastic. I love it. Give me a one if you'd like me to have a morning radio show where I just hop on every morning and I'm like, hey guys, welcome to Mornings with Matt. Would y'all like that? That would be fun. Do like a half an hour show in the morning. I'm not planning on doing this, by the way, but wouldn't it be? It'd be cool, right? And I could use a bunch of goofy sound effects, and it would be a party. All right. Lynn says, I have a great relationship with my sweetie, and I've learned communication is very important for your relationship to work. Exactly, Lynn. That's why I'm just going to bring this up. Mastery of connection. We get to really look into and master the way that we connect with ourselves and other people. Communication is the foundation of connection. And until you understand who you are, how you're wired, what kind of, you know, what your love languages are, what your attachment style is, what your patterns are in relationship, and how you connect with yourself and other people, until you cultivate that awareness, you're not able to be fully conscious in relationship. You're going to create so much unnecessary conflict in your relationships. And I got to ask, aren't you tired of that? Aren't you tired of like having the same crap continue to happen in your connections and relationships with men? That's why this first course that you get free access to if you sign up at masteryconnection.com, this first course is rooted and grounded in you doing the inner work, learning how you connect with yourself, looking at your beliefs around intimacy, around relationship, and just like going through the process. I've got exercises, I've got worksheets, and you're going to be part of a community of hundreds, if not thousands of women that are all in this container supporting each other in creating, you know, the sort of results that you want in your life and in your relationship. So it's an incredible experience. I'm going to be doing office hours twice a week. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so join us in Master Your Connection. Can't wait to have you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Yeah. So anybody who's done the beta, let me know how much you've enjoyed it. Yeah. Jean, one of our amazing magnets. That's what we call our tribe members and our alumni of Mastery Connection and Mastery Magnetism. She said it was awesome. Pure in heart joined us. Sign up, ladies. You'll grow so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. We all get to do this stuff. Truly, truly, truly. We get to do this inner work. So let's go. So keep asking me questions, y'all. We're having fun. We're having a great time. Let's see. This is an interesting question here from Marianne. Maybe ask questions. We were talking about questions earlier. Maybe ask some questions that give you an insight about your man and trigger some positive feelings. Like, what's your favorite memory? Yeah. And that's such a good point. That's such a great question, Marianne. And here's the thing. A really important principle that I want to ground y'all in here is that men are storytellers. Men love to tell stories especially about themselves, especially about times that really connect them to their sense of identity. So if you can ask a man to tell you a story, just be like, well, like if he's into fishing, just be like, what has been your greatest experience out on the water? Like, tell me, like, what's the time where, you know, what's your favorite experience, you know, out there fishing? Like, you want to get a man telling a story, whatever he's into, ask him for, you know, the greatest experience he's had or the scariest experience he's had within that within that niche or within that topic, and you will get an incredible story. And once he starts speaking about what he's into and he goes into that story and he's able to demonstrate like what he's gone through to you in a powerful way, he's going to feel empowered and he's going to feel seen and heard and appreciated by you. So it's super powerful and a great thing to do. Okay, so that's a great suggestion, Marianne. I appreciate it. Mifo is asking, somebody post the beta link, please. I'll put a link in the thing here. Boom. Okay, so I'm putting it in the chat. masteryconnection.com right there. And you can sign up. I got the link right here. Just head on over to masteryconnection.com. Boom. So head on over and sign up if you have not yet. Let's see. So who else? Give me some more questions, ladies. I'd love to do that. Oh, so this is beautiful. We have Bernice. Bernice said, thank you, Matt, for changing my story. I love you. Oh, I love you too, Bernice. That's so sweet. Makes me so happy to hear that. Okay, let's see. So who are some questions? Marianne says, thank you so much for saying that, Matt. So many relationship coaches think the end goal is marriage, and I just want to date this one guy. Yeah, and so here's the thing. Like, I'm not here to tell you what your values are. I'm not here to tell you what you're looking for in a relationship. What I want you to do is I want you to know and be deeply connected to the relationship that you want. I want you to create this sort of fulfilling and meaningful connection and relationship with man or men that is going to fill you up. That's what this is about. Like, connection is not meant to be an anchor. It's not meant to be a prison. It's meant to be a platform that we can use to elevate ourselves. That's all connection. And that's the thing. Like, the interdependence of the masculine and the feminine is so profound, because here's the thing. Men and women, when they are operating from a space of stable relationship or connection, they can become more ascended and expanded individuals. That's the powerful nature of relationship, right? Is that when you have a partner, and it doesn't have to be a marriage, it doesn't have to be a legal document, right? But when you have a healthy relationship, you can function as a more empowered individual, fundamentally. And it is transformational to have that in your life. But it starts with you knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, you can't possibly truly know what you need from somebody else, or what's going to truly make you happy. And that is why my course is something that I think is so important to share with the world. And it's why I'm doing a free beta of it. This will be my third beta. It's already been beta tested with over 4,000 women. And I would love to have you there as well. Because, your feedback as a beta tester helps me make it the greatest possible course that it can be as I share it with the world in a broader way throughout the rest of this year and the rest of my life. So if you want to change your life, if you want to have better connections and relationships with men and just with yourself, if you want to know yourself in a deeper way and set yourself free from all the beliefs and patterns that have been holding you back in your life up until now, sign up, y'all. Whoop, whoop. There it is. Okay. Lily Hada asks an interesting question here. She asks, Matt, here's a question. How to date a guarded man, especially if he likes you, but you feel that he's holding back. Oh boy. Okay. So a guarded man. Now there's a difference between a guarded man and an emotionally avoidant man. Okay, and so I want you to ask yourself, Lily, where does he fall on that spectrum? Oh yeah, and so if your question got lost in the thread, y'all, and I haven't answered it, go ahead and repost it down at the bottom, and I'll go through, because there's so many, so many comments that I can't possibly keep track. Julie says, love you, Matt. Thank you, Julie. Okay, so here's the thing. Most men, to some degree, have a resistance to vulnerability, a resistance to emotional vulnerability, either because they've got a belief that vulnerability equals weakness, or they've got trauma around vulnerability because of their childhood, or maybe relationships in the past. They feel that they need to be strong. The only way to be strong is to be cut off from their feelings. Okay, so that's one type. That's one common issue that men are dealing with, okay? So if a man is guarded, if he's having resistance around being open and being emotionally vulnerable with you, and I talked about this a little earlier, but I want to address it again. Like, you get to remember that you are the emotional and communicative conductor of this relationship. You are the one that is inviting him into vulnerability, and through a couple different ways, by making him feel safe. By making him feel safe to talk about his feelings. Okay, so he likes you, but he's holding back. So maybe, are you asking him how he feels in an inviting way? Like, are you inviting him to share his feelings? Because he's probably got a story, built up that you don't want to hear that from him, or that it doesn't matter, right? Or that if he tells you his feelings, that you're going to, exploit that. So are you asking him questions to get him to, open up? Are you letting him know how much you love hearing how he feels, right? Are you letting him know how much it would mean to you to hear how he's feeling? And most importantly, this is a question for you, right? Are you leading by example? Are you leading by example? Are you sharing your feelings with him in a vulnerable way? Because those two things, asking the right questions anchored in your feelings, and then leading by example, setting the stage for what it looks like to be vulnerable, those two things are going to, give him, all you can do. Here's the thing. You cannot make a man be vulnerable with you. Okay. Especially if he's avoidant attachment style, which is a whole other bag of nuts, right? So avoidant attachment style men have a deep, deep, deep wiring and belief system that they have a deep fear around emotional vulnerability, right? And so if a man is avoidant, that's a whole nother bag of nuts, okay? If he's guarded, then he's like most men out there, where those men can be invited into, vulnerability and connection. But if a man is avoidant attachment style, then your attempts to be vulnerable with him are actually going to lead to him, shutting down and pushing you away more. So be sure to ask yourself that, like, where does he fall into that spectrum? And if you want to learn more, I go all through the 3 different attachment styles and, what they mean in relationship, in mastery of connection. So check us out there, okay? But if he's holding back, lead by example and ask him how he's feeling and invite him to share how he's feeling, anchored in your feelings, and it's going to make a huge difference. So I hope that resonates with you. And that's a good one. All right, so keep putting your questions down in the chat, y'all. If you asked and it got buried. VT here. Okay, this is an interesting question. My ex, have been in no contact with my ex for 3 months. Lots of ex questions here. I'm liking these. Would love to connect with the ex again, romantically. Would it be a good idea to say happy birthday to him on his upcoming birthday in 3 days? I mean, yeah, Viv. If you want to reestablish, I always have this mantra that I use. They're your ex for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So oftentimes, like, maybe we think we want to get back together with our ex, but maybe we've just spent the last 2 weeks in quarantine and we're feeling a little isolated, And so there's always going to be, if we've been alone for a little while, that knee-jerk, that craving something familiar. And I get it, right? So maybe look at where that desire is coming from. Do you really want to reconnect with your ex, or do you just not want to feel so isolated and alone right now? Maybe dig a little deeper into your desire, into your desire for this, and how your relationship ended. Clearly is another huge thing to think about, right? And how he showed up and why y'all broke up in the first place. But again, if you can go through all those questions and decide, it's a healthy thing that, and I do authentically want to reestablish connection with this guy, then absolutely, a happy birthday is a perfect way to reopen the line of communication and connection, and then see how he responds. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a great idea. And so again, looking at why we want to be in relationship is a huge thing to think about. Okay, let's see. Brooke's question. This is a good one. Okay, Brooke Light. How should I test a man's intention after he comes back? Brooke. Okay. So after he comes, big follow-up question, Brooke. After he comes back from what? After he comes back from what? Okay, does he come back from a war? Like, did he get deployed? Is he coming back from ghosting you? Is he coming back from cheating on you and you breaking up with him? Is he coming back from addiction? Right? So you're saying you want to test his intention. So that makes me think that, maybe he ghosted you or something along those lines, where you're wanting to gauge sort of like where he's coming from. And I think one of the greatest things to remember here when you're looking to test a man's attention is that, when a man shows you who he is, believe them. And a person shows you who they are through their actions, through their consistency, through how they're showing up. Are you with me? So obviously, listen to his words, but as he's talking to you, is he making eye contact with you, or is he looking away? Right? Is he open body as he's communicating with you? How is he showing up? When you text him, is he texting you back? Does he take ownership of, his role in your breakup? Does he take ownership, or does he try to blame it on somebody else? Does he try to blame it on something else? If he's in ownership of his role in this, if he's, clear in the way that he's showing up to you, he's consistent. I like to say with my clients and my students, look for the music between the notes, right? Because if the music don't sound right, if it doesn't feel right, like, listen to your intuition and evaluate his actions and how he's showing up objectively. And that's how you're going to get a good gauge of his intention. And pace yourself. If a man has vanished off the face of the earth and then he's materialized back up into your life, like, you want to make dang sure don't just jump right back in to the level of relationship that you had before. Take your time. Give him an opportunity to demonstrate over time consistency with you. You see what I'm saying? That is a huge, huge, huge thing. So let's see. Oh my gosh, we have like 8 bajillion messages and text here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm skimming, looking for questions. Let's see. Okay, we did the no sex question. Tex gal. Let's see. Whoa, that's a big one. Let me make that window a little smaller. All right, Tex gal. Don't mess with Texas. When a man begins to relieve himself of his secrets and needs you to listen what to do. He seems good. He trusts me. I'm not offering advice being his therapist, but he distanced himself after this. He distanced himself after sharing. Generally speaking, Tex gal, when a man wants to share in a responsible way, okay, and that's an important distinction. Like, when a man wants to share vulnerably with you as your relationship is developing, that is generally healthy. It generally demonstrates that he's starting to trust you. It demonstrates that he feels safe enough with you to open up and share with you. Those are great. Right? But then the alternative is you go out on a first date or a second date with a guy and he just dumps his messy divorce and all the miseries of his life on you. Big red flag. Okay, there's a huge distinction there. You don't want to be a dumpster into which he just unburdens all of his trauma and life history onto you in the first couple dates. Like, that's toxic, But if over the course, this is really important. So you're asking what to do. What to do is hold space. Okay, what to do is hold space. So holding space is not giving advice. You do not want to be his therapist. You truly don't want to get framed that way with him. And maybe that's not what he needs for you. Okay, so the way we hold space is we create a space where he's able to share. He wants to say something. You say, wonderful, I'd love to hear it, right? And then you listen. And as you're listening to what he's saying, you have 2 big priorities. The first one is to truly, listen to the emotion behind what he's saying, listen to the depth of what he's saying. And the second thing is, don't take it personally. Don't take what he's sharing with you personally, even if it involves you, even if it involves your relationship, okay? Because if you take it personally, you're going to shut down and you're no longer holding space. You're going to be defensive. Okay. So listen and ask follow-up questions so that you're helping him fully release whatever it is that he wants to share. And don't take whatever he shares personally, even if it involves you. And then afterwards, at the end of it, after he's released everything that he wanted to talk about, then you ask him, thank you so much. First off, you thank him, right? We talked earlier about you acknowledging what a man does for you, right? You want to ask him, you want to thank him for the share. Thanks. It means so much to me that you would trust me to share your feelings like this. I love that you were able to do that. I'm so proud of you. Acknowledge him for what he did, and then ask him, okay, how would you like me to support you in this? How would you like me to support you? I can't tell you how powerful and how profound it is for a man to hear a woman say, I see you. I understand where you're coming from, and I would love to support you. How can I support you? Every man, from a woman he's dating, he wants a cheerleader. He wants a partner. And once he's getting vulnerable and he's sharing those deep things that he's suppressed within himself, he's wanting to step into a deeper level of partnership with you. And don't take personally that he distanced himself after he did this. It may be that he feels really exposed, right? And so he may have a lot of fear around that. And so how can you invite him and coax him back into connection with you? And don't be afraid to initiate and ask questions and make greater invitations to him. Because as the one and only Jack Butler, y'all, Jack Butler, my amazing friend and absolute deep, profound rock star coach, truly the cycle of invitation and space is a really powerful concept. If y'all don't know Jack, be sure to go subscribe over on his channel. He is amazing. But we get to embody the cycle of invitation and space. Make an invitation grounded in feelings, then step back and give him the space. Honor his ability to move forward. Okay? If you make an invitation, but then you stay on him, hounding him about it, you're not trusting him. You're holding him small, right? Men want to feel that you trust them and that you have faith in their ability to move forward and do what it is that you're asking them to do. Are you with me? Give me a one if y'all can relate to that. And let's see here. So, and Trish says, yeah, this is a different way of leaning back. Invitation in space is a very magnetic, feminine way. It's very polarizing. It creates a great deal of polarity between you and men. You make an invitation and then you step back and you create space for him to do the thing. You're not in a continual, so it's very feminine. It's a very feminine way of being the conductor in a relationship. Leaning back is a phrase that I avoid using because the connotation around it can get a little misconstrued. Okay, so let's see. Daniela makes a great point. I think using I feel is a powerful communication tool. It's one of the most powerful communication tools that you have, Daniela. It demonstrates emotional agency. It is highly motivating to men because remember, men want you to feel good. Men are invested, especially if a man is loves you and deeply wants you. That is a man who is invested in your feelings, okay? And he wants to be with you. So you want to always anchor whatever it is that you're saying in how you feel. Okay, and it's going to make a big difference and be highly motivating to him. Mindy, I think I addressed this in an earlier thing, but I want to readdress it because it's super important. Mastery of connection is deeply powerful to you, no matter if you're in a relationship or not. Okay, it is a wonderful experience that will be hugely beneficial to you. Okay, as an individual. Okay, so. Because we do belief work, we do vision work. This is laying the foundation for you, whether you're in a relationship or not. Okay, so don't be afraid. Jump in, join us in Mastery of Connection. It is going to be an amazing experience. All right, let's go ahead and make it a little smaller so we can get the whole thing on one line. Is it going to let me do it on one line? Oh, I love it. Okay, so there you go. So. Let's go ahead and boom. All right. So head on over to masteryconnection.com. It'll be a great experience. Okay. So any other questions, guys? I would love to answer any questions that you got coming up around dating, around relationship. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, Brooke has another great question here. Oh my gosh, there's so many questions. Shit. Okay, here we go. She made it bigger. Lots of great questions, Brooke. I love your questions. Brooke is asking, should I stay or go when I know there is unresolvable difference like religion or worldview? I'm a free spirit. He's a conservative. Oh, but I'm drawn to him in a 5D dimension. Oh, I get it, Brooke. I understand where you're coming from. And it really comes down to, I want you to ask yourself, like, what is your intention right now for your connection with men? Okay. So maybe the deviance between the two of you, politically, is a deal breaker for long-term relationship, right? Or for lifelong partnership, okay? So you get to ask yourself right now, is lifelong partnership what I'm committed to creating? Or would being in a powerful, spiritual, sort of shorter-term relationship, would that support me? Is that something that would serve me right now? Like, what's in alignment for me right now? Not every relationship has to be the end of the road. I just released a video on this, right? Would this relationship be a powerful step for me? Would it serve me to have a deep, spiritual, powerful connection with a partner right now that I also know is likely not going to end up being a lifelong partnership? You know what I'm saying? So really, it comes down to your intention. If you are committed to holding out for a lifelong partnership, or at least someone who has the potential to be a long-term partner, then yeah, you shouldn't be with a man who's going to undermine that. Because as long as we stay connected to what isn't in alignment with what we want, then we don't have space to call in what it is that we do want. So it's very important to recognize that if something feels good, but it's only 60% of what you want, like don't be getting frustrated about the fact that, you don't have 100% of what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get angry about not getting what you want when you're settling for what you don't want. Okay. So like, if this is something that's going to work for you right now, then by all means, like, go into it. But then, don't get frustrated about the fact that you're not creating that sort of like deep, meaningful, lasting relationship. You know what I'm saying? So just a super important thing to look at in your own dating and relationship. Ba-boom, ba-boom. All right, so let's get some other questions here. Let's party with them. All right. So who's got some more questions? Okay, it's not gonna let me put it back on one line, is it? Whatever. All right. So masterconnection.com. Join us. Let's see here. Let's get some other questions, guys. Happy to answer a few more questions before we go. Let's see. Let's see. I have to remember to say that. How can I support you? Exactly, Marianne. Super important to hold space and ask the question, right? Because not everybody wants the same support. And then you're also training him to do the same thing too. Okay? Okay, so other questions. Boom. This is a great question. Jackie Walsh. Yeah, please put your questions in the box, guys. I'll stay on for another 10, 15 minutes, at least answering questions, because then I got to go eat because I am starving. So Jackie Walsh says, my friends are engaged, but I developed feelings for the guy before I knew they were together. Ooh, how do I change jealousy to happiness for them both? It's a good question, Jackie. That's a juicy one. And so I would say that, okay, so you develop feelings for the guy. So feelings are what? You saw him and you became attracted to him because you saw the beauty in him, right? You saw the beauty of who he was. Okay. And you're friends with both of these people, right? So you have a relationship, an acknowledgement of the beauty of both of these people. And so at the end of the day, what's important when it comes to these friendships with these people? Is their happiness a priority to you, right? Because if you're jealous of their relationship, then you're saying, I wish that like they weren't with each other, that they weren't making each other happy so that I could be with him. Okay, so jealousy is always rooted, jealousy in situations like this, right, is rooted in putting ourselves above and our needs, above the needs and the happiness of the other people in our life, and the people that are around us. And so truly, like, I want you to reground yourself, Jackie, in these friendships. I want you to reground yourself in how happy you are, like how grateful you are that these two people found each other and that they've built this life together and that they're ready to move forward, right, with each other, right? Because as long as you hold on to jealousy, like, I wish that he wasn't with her, I wish he was with me, then that energy is going to undermine your friendships with them, and it's going to, sort of keep you, it's going to make it harder for you to create relationship with other people. You know what I'm saying? So really, just jealousy in a lot of times is fighting against the reality of the situation. Like, how can you step into, and embrace the truth that the present moment is perfect and the relationship that these two have together is perfect. You see what I'm saying? And it's not your job to fight and rage against what's happened. It's your job to be the friend that you are to both of these. Like, your responsibility to both these people is to honor and love and celebrate their journey as individuals, okay? And you do that by being happy for them. So I hope that resonated with you, and reground yourself in your love and friendship for them, okay? And that'll make a big difference, right? Okay, so let's see. How can I get him? This is a good one. How can I get him to be more present when we're together? Okay, so presence, again, this all goes back to like what we were talking about earlier about being the conductor, right? Is that, like, if you want him to be present, then you get to lead with presence. You get to lead with, not picking the phone up, right? Putting the phone down, not having the phone with you, asking him questions, engaging him in conversation, leading the way. Try to avoid like reprimanding him, like, you're always looking at your phone when you're with me. Instead of being that, like, invite him, be like, hey, are you worried about this like pandemic thing? Like, what do you think about it? Like, ask him. A lot of times a man isn't present because he doesn't feel connected or because he's preoccupied and he's thinking about other things. So how can you guide his focus into the moment with you? How can you guide his focus into connection with you through your questions, through your invitations? You see what I'm saying? And so, like, you have the power to do that. It's going to take you, it's just your responsibility to do it. And at a certain level, if he's refusing to do that, if he's refusing to, if he's just staying checked out, then you want to, then you're going to want to tell him, like, hey, so it would really mean a lot to me if we could be really connected when we're hanging out together. Because, sometimes when you're spending all your time looking at your phone, the story I make up about it is that, like, my needs or my feelings aren't important to you, which doesn't make me feel super great, which leads to me feeling not so great. You see what I'm saying? So you want to connect the way that you're feeling to his actions without blaming him for them. Okay. So, but again, presence is something that oftentimes if you just make some, invitations to him and you lead by example and everything, you can often correct that behavior and let him know how much you love, being in, how it makes you feel when, when you're doing that, when you're connected and present and together. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, Nancy. How do you get him to respect you enough to let you finish what you're saying before he starts talking? Oh, that's an annoying one, right? So he's always interrupting you. Is that the thing? Oh my gosh. So Nancy, I mean, this is one of those questions. First off, I want you to look at, like, so he's interrupting you a lot during when you're talking. Okay. So how can you know that his interrupting you is because he doesn't respect you? Okay. Is that true? Or is that a story that you've created that, well, he's interrupting me because he doesn't respect me enough to let me finish? Okay. Just look at that, right? Because a lot of times that's how we get triggered. We get triggered by projecting our own beliefs. Because, like, you have a belief that if someone interrupts you, it's because they don't respect what it is that you're saying, right? But maybe he just grew up like talking like that, or maybe he just has a lot to say and he's really passionate, and maybe he just doesn't have the social etiquette, right, to necessarily do this. So I would first look at that belief that it's disrespectful. And secondly, once you've done a little work on that, like, you can ask him powerfully, be like, hey, so, I've got a little bit more to share with you. Do you mind waiting until I've finished my thought before chiming in? Do you see how, like, if you can take that frustrated energy away from the request, it's something that's going to be a lot more powerful. It's going to land with him a lot more, and you're going to have a lot better opportunity of him actually honoring it. Be like, hey, do you mind, I'd really love it if, I could finish like my thought and then hear what you have to say, and start off with a comment. Be like, I'd love to hear your feedback on this. I'd really love your input on it. That's why I'm sharing it with you. But like, it'd really mean a lot to me if you could just like, let me finish the statement before sharing your side. Okay. That'd really help me out. Can you do that for me? And see how through a series of, a soft requests, you're able to guide him into being like, okay, yeah, absolutely, that's fine. I totally agree with that. And that'll help you do that in a much more effective manner. Are you with me? Good. Okay. Boom. Let's see. Oh, this is sweet. Lulu says, we're in a long distance relationship. We saw each other once. It's been a year since we started chatting. He never forgets to send a good morning message. So sweet. I love it. Yeah, Victoria's got a good one here. Hang on, I'm not done yet. Yeah, that's another good one, Victoria. I like that one a lot. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so I want to end as we're getting here. We're at an hour 45, y'all. I've been going solo for an hour 45. I've been having a blast with you, amazing ladies. This has been so much fun. But I'm getting hungry. I am late for lunch. But I want to end with this final question here that Miss Maithana has. What are some tips and steps for letting go of a relationship that was starting but never went anywhere? Okay, so that's a really important question. And so what I would invite you to do, a relationship that started and then it ended, no matter how long it ended, okay? And you're saying it never went anywhere. And well, obviously it started, so it did go somewhere. Instead of looking at a relationship as, a breakup or something traumatic, or, it should have gone longer, this should have happened, release the shoulds. And I want you to view a relationship that started and ended as it wasn't a breakup. It was a completed relationship. Your relationship is complete, okay? And no matter how it ended and no matter how it started, the way that it began and ended is perfect. That relationship is here to serve you. That relationship is here to teach you. So if you can stop looking at a completed relationship as a missed opportunity, and instead look at it as a step on the road towards your ideal partner. If you can look at it as a blessing, if you can look at it as a lesson, if you can reflect, and this is one of the greatest things you can do, is to look at that relationship and find the blessings, find the things that you want to take with you into your next partnership, and then find the things that you want to release in your next partnership. You can actually grow from that relationship, and it can be a step towards your ideal partnership. Okay, so stop looking at it as a breakup, stop looking at it as a lost opportunity, and instead step into and embrace the fact that the fact that it ended is perfect, right? And it's a completed relationship. And now what can I learn from it that I can carry with me into my next partnership? You see what I'm saying? So I hope that landed with you, and I hope that all this stuff has landed with you, ladies. It has been such a blessing and so much fun connecting with you on this live. You'll be seeing a lot more of these, and as Miss Victoria says so beautifully, cherish it for what it was. Exactly, Victoria. Cherish it for what it was. Thanks all of you for signing up and for being a part of this live. And again, if you haven't signed up for Mastery of Connection, my last beta is coming up next month. I'm putting a link to it down in the chat. masteryofconnection.com. This is going to be my final free beta launch of my course. So if you want to be a part of Mastery Connection, it's a month-long transformational love and relationship course. It is deep inner work. It is not a get the guy course. This is a course where you're going to be doing work on yourself and learning how you connect with yourself and other people so you can show up as your best self in relationship and become irresistible to the life and the love that you crave. And we've had lots of my fellow students, my magnets, on the chat that have been talking about how powerful it is. And so would love to have you join us. It is absolutely free. This is the last time I'm going to be doing it for free. It will be selling for $19.97, $2,000 after this beta, starting for the rest of the year. So just know that, and for those of you who didn't get your questions answered in the chat, please copy or rewrite your question in the comments of this video, and I will be sure to go through and answer those. Okay, so put your questions in the comments of the video, and we'll do that there. Okay, thank you so much for all of your amazing questions and engagement. Go on over to masteryconnection.com and sign up if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on my next live. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.